Chicago Bulls trade Zach LaVine to the Indiana Pacers? The latest NBA trade rumors are heating up with speculation that the Bulls might trade Zach LaVine to the Pacers. What would this mean for both teams and their future plans? Join us as we break down the trade details, potential impacts, and analyze how this move could reshape the NBA landscape. Don't miss out. Subscribe now and hit the bell for the most up-to-date Bulls news and trade rumors. Welcome to Chicago Bulls News, your go-to source for the latest updates on the Windy City's favorite team. We've got you covered with breaking news, trade rumors, and in-depth analysis of everything Bulls. From United Center to the front office, we're bringing you the inside scoop. Hit subscribe and let's talk Bulls basketball. That's right, we're talking about the possibility of the Chicago Bulls sending their star shooting guard, Zach LaVine, to the Indiana Pacers. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty details, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the latest NBA news and analysis. Let's set the stage here. The Chicago Bulls have been in a bit of a rut lately. Despite having talented players like LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic, they've struggled to make a significant impact in the playoffs. On the other hand, the Indiana Pacers have been building a young, exciting core around Tyrese Haliburton and are looking to take that next step towards contention. Now, let's break down this potential trade rumor and examine why it might make sense for both teams. First, let's talk about Zach LaVine. The two-time All-Star has been a cornerstone of the Bulls' offense since joining the team in 2017. LaVine is averaging 24.8 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game this season, shooting an impressive 48% from the field and 37% from beyond the arc. There's no doubt that LaVine is a legitimate scoring threat and one of the most explosive athletes in the league. However, questions have arisen about LaVine's fit with the current Bulls roster and whether he can be the centerpiece of a championship contender. Some critics argue that his defensive limitations and ball-dominant style might be holding the team back from reaching its full potential. Now, don't get me wrong, LaVine is an incredible talent. His ability to create his own shot, finish at the rim, and knock down threes makes him a valuable asset for any team. But the Bulls might be looking to shake things up and build around a different core. This is where the Indiana Pacers come into play. The Pacers have been quietly assembling a talented young roster, led by the emerging superstar Tyrese Haliburton. Adding a proven scorer like LaVine to complement Haliburton could potentially elevate the Pacers to new heights in the Eastern Conference. Imagine a starting five of Tyrese Haliburton, Zach LaVine, Bennedict Mathurin, Obi Toppin, and Miles Turner. That's a lineup that could cause serious problems for opponents on both ends of the floor. One possible scenario could involve the Pacers sending a package centered around Buddy Hield, Chris Duarte, and future draft picks to the Bulls in exchange for LaVine. Hield is a sharpshooter who could help space the floor for DeRozan and Vucevic, while Duarte is a young, promising guard with potential on both ends of the court. Another option could see the Pacers parting ways with T.J. McConnell, Aaron Nesmith, and multiple first-round picks to acquire LaVine. This package would give the Bulls additional depth and future assets to retool their roster. NBA insider Brian Windhorst recently commented on the possibility of a LaVine trade, saying, "There's growing chatter around the league that the Bulls might be open to moving LaVine if the right offer comes along." The Pacers have the assets and the motivation to make a splash, so it's definitely a situation worth monitoring. Now, let's dive a little deeper into how this trade could impact both teams on the court. For the Bulls, trading LaVine could signal a shift in philosophy. It might allow them to focus more on building a balanced team rather than relying heavily on individual scoring. Players like Patrick Williams and Kobe White could see increased roles, potentially flourishing with more opportunities. The Bulls could also use the assets acquired in the trade to pursue another star down the line or accumulate young talent through the draft. This approach might be more aligned with the modern NBA's emphasis on depth and versatility. On the Pacers' side, adding LaVine to the mix would give them a dynamic scoring duo in the backcourt. Halliburton's playmaking ability combined with LaVine's scoring prowess could make for one of the most exciting guard tandems in the league. Moreover, LaVine's presence would open up opportunities for other players like Bennedict Mathurin and Obi Toppin. With defenses focused on containing LaVine and Halliburton, these young players could find more open looks and driving lanes. But there are certainly risks involved for both teams. The Bulls would be saying goodbye to a player who has been the face of their franchise for several years. There's no guarantee that the players or picks they receive in return would pan out as they hope. For the Pacers, there's the question of whether LaVine is the right star to pair with Halliburton. While their offensive potential is tantalizing, defense wins championships, and a backcourt of Halliburton and LaVine might struggle on that end of the floor. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: LaVine's contract. He's currently in the second year of a 5-year, $215 million max contract. That's a significant financial commitment for any team, especially a small market franchise like the Pacers. However, the Pacers have been prudent with their spending in recent years and have the cap space to absorb a max contract. The question is whether they believe LaVine is worth that investment and if he can be the piece that elevates them to contender status. It's also worth considering the broader implications of this potential trade on the Eastern Conference landscape. If the Pacers were to acquire LaVine, they could potentially leapfrog several teams in the playoff race. This move could put pressure on other middle-tier Eastern Conference teams to make moves of their own to keep pace. Teams like the Miami Heat, Philadelphia 76ers, and even the New York Knicks might feel compelled to explore trades or free agent signings to bolster their rosters in response to a LaVine to Pacers move. On the flip side, if the Bulls trade LaVine, it could signal a youth movement in Chicago. This might open up opportunities for teams like the Toronto Raptors or the Atlanta Hawks to make a push for playoff positioning. As we wrap up this discussion, it's important to remember that at this point, this is all speculation. No official reports have confirmed that the Bulls and Pacers are in active trade talks regarding Zach LaVine. However, the NBA trade deadline is approaching, and rumors like these tend to heat up as we get closer to that date. Whether or not this specific trade comes to fruition, it's clear that both the Bulls and the Pacers are teams to watch as the deadline approaches. The Bulls might be looking to reshape their roster, while the Pacers could be in the market for a star to complement their young core. As always, we'll be keeping a close eye on any developments and bringing you the latest news and analysis right here on Hoops Central. What do you think about this potential trade? Would Zach LaVine be a good fit for the Pacers? Should the Bulls consider moving on from their star guard? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more NBA news, trade rumors, and in-depth analysis. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload.